because like they make like if you have private, they just say like you should go check in the office. Go check in there. I think it's
maybe after my birthday. Maybe after my birthday. My birthday's March 15th. Let's go think about it.
a shirt.
Will, is my computer on?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure you can
open it up. Is there a way to press contact us?
your Facebook on here. You should sell the durable love.
Esco Catskill. That was
You also looking at my email.
Okay, Mike.
So
then we'll just take up 5.
you guys both on green list?
5 minutes later.
Just said. Send an email.
What did you change for it? Here, how that happened. Did you change it? No, I sat down in the spring one.
Senator Hill, we have all kinds of
You won't change a thing. Everything is all downhill.
Well, you rather than that, I think I'm pretty sure I could have something we could use.
It's not you.
I'm not going to send you a link.
I'm running for future.
Yeah, you guys wanted to send
Yeah,
Are you actually?
We'll just do it in PDF.
That's kind of fun. What's the line? What's the line on it?
You can sit up here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that won't remain. It's like on the center.
Sorry about that. Meeting room will come to order. We're holding a meeting of the SDSMT Student Association Senate. Members and guests join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Vice President will call the roll of members and proxies. Baumeister.
Present.
Burke.
Here.
Boucher.
Here.
Cantz. Here. Clausen.
Here.
Durden.
Present.
Kelly.
Here.
Halsted.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Jensen.
Here.
Jessen.
Here.
King.
Here.
Clobber.
Here.
Salcido.
Here.
Sattler. Schauffele. Sinchins.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Stolman.
Alive.
Severson.
Here.
White.
Here.
Wright. Yermolovich.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thanks. I declare this meeting, the SDSMT Student Association Senate, duly open for transaction business. Any attention to matters which are properly be presented. First, approval agenda. It was sent out last week. Are there any questions, comments? Not last week, but earlier. All right. Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the agenda? You got to put your card out because I can't think of names. Sanderson, second. Smith, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Approval of the minutes, they were also sent out. Are there any questions or comments? Is there a motion for approval? Also Syverson and White. All right, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Minutes pass. So we have open floor guests, Dr. Steve Smith. Go ahead, you can have the floor. You can stand up, up to the other end if you'd like.
Wherever you would like.
Good.
Whatever works for you.
I could just sit there.
Whatever you want.
Okay, thank you. My name is Steve Smith. I'm the department head of nanoscience and biomedical engineering. I'm a professor here. I've been a professor for about 20 years here at the School of Mines. I think before that I was at National Renewable Energy Laboratory as a staff scientist, where I worked on mainly physics. My background is physics. So I got the email asking to give a short presentation about where we are and what our programs are and in research and education. So we have just a few slides. They all have animations on them, but they're not going to be playing because this is a PDF and it doesn't have animation. So you'll have to use your imagination for that. Let's see if this moves. And this slide advance is not working. Am I doing it incorrectly?
I think so. You're on the next one.
Okay. These are all our staff, faculty and staff, including myself. So we have 8 faculty and 2 staff members, and they're all listed there. I won't go through the names, but if you know your rooms, if you want to cheer, now's the time. Okay, it's working. So these are just some things about the program. So we offer a Bachelor of Science, a Master of Science, and a PhD in Biomedical Engineering. We also offer a Master's of Science and PhD in Nanoscience and Nanoengineering. And as you'll see, these two are actually fairly integrated in our department and on campus. This is a slide that I gave to the University Cabinet last fall. They asked for highlights, and so these are sort of highlights. So we just started a new minor in biomedical engineering. So if you're considering a minor in nursing and biomedical engineering, you can get a minor by taking a few courses, and some of them could be courses you're going to take anyways for your majoring. We also have a minor in quantum information science, which just started this year. That also involves taking some courses I won't describe those right now, but if you're interested, you can send me an email. I certainly can either give you copies of these slides or answer any questions that you have. A few courses that, so biomedical engineering started in 2019. It was the kickoff year. I think now we're up to about 100 undergraduates steady state, so about 25 per class is kind of the idea. I think nanoscience and nanoengineering was started in 2005. That's what I came here to do. And biomedical engineering as a graduate program started shortly after that. But the undergraduate program, like I said, was 2019. So we're ABET accredited. We just went through an accreditation process. These are some of the awards for our faculty and students. So some of the kind of neat events that we've done. This wound shark, if you haven't heard about it, is done in our tissue engineering class. But the students, if they dream up projects about tissue engineering, innovative solutions, and engineering, they present them and pitch them to sharks, and then somebody wins. It's kind of fun and interesting. Let's see here. So we're a very research intensive department, so we have a lot of active grants and contracts. All our faculty have graduate students and federally funded research. And this is a list of some of the things that we have in place. Above $11 million in total grants and contracts. When I made this slide, it was last spring. Two of them I'd like to talk about is, one is career awards. This is a really big honor. We only about 5% of faculty in the country would get this kind of award. And we have a career award winner, Dr. Wong, who won a career proposal based on his ideas about using nanotechnology to fight cancer, which is pretty cool. Dr. Scott is another, he won a big award from Chan Zuckerberg Institute, which comes from Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chang, and they're trying to reimagine infrastructure for biomedical engineering in the country. And one of the things they're interested in is imaging, and this is something that we are experts at, and Dr. Scott is too. These are just some of the awards that our students have got. We have an NSF graduate fellow. She just won that last year, Whitney Pomwick. And we have a long list of other awards that these students have been involved in. So we're real active in Biomedical Engineering Society as some students presenters. We usually get a lot of these are all undergraduate students. Well, one of these is a graduate student. Let's see here. This is a list of all the PhDs. So I've been at this for a while. So we have about 50 PhDs. That's a lot of PhDs for this school. It's a, if you pick any PhD granted from the School of Mines, probability that it's one of ours is pretty good because that's a lot of PhDs. These are some of the companies that our students have done interns or are permanent employees at. Medtronic is a big one in Minneapolis. GE Health, they're all over the country, but we have a lot of students there. Don't want to take the whole night, so I'm just going to very briefly talk about these, and you can look at these slides, and there's lots of information in them. So this is talking about Dr. Wong's work fighting cancer using nanotechnology. And these, it'd be nice if there was a laser pointer. There is. I don't really see that.
There's a little slim button. It's slim and long. That's
Don't see any.
right below the arrows, I think.
There's just not enough. I see that. But anyways, doesn't really matter. Those pictures you're seeing, those are all optical images. They were taken in my lab, actually. And that little hand is touching some of them. Those are images, they're called fluorescence images, but we actually engineer the cells to give off light in very specific places. It's kind of like painting the cells very specifically. And we're looking at the cytoskeleton of these cells, and the cancer has different, what we call phenotypes. Some of them are less aggressive than others. So you've heard of metastasis. This is like the worst phenotype for cancer because it means the cancer is active and spreading. So these round cells are associated with what we call the endothelial phenotype, which is non-metastasizing, and these long, skinny things are what we call mesenchymal phenotype, which is associated with metastasis. So he learned, using nanotechnology, how to take those mesenchymal phenotype and go back to the endothelial. So he kind of turning the clock back, going from stage 4 to stage 2 cancer. And that makes it a lot easier to use drugs against these types of cancers. So that's a big deal. He also learned how to use the same technology to fight arteriosclerosis, which is the big disease which causes heart attack and stroke. So kind of exciting. So this is fun for me to talk about. Another thing that we're really interested in is using nanomaterials for tissue engineering. So here, this is kind of a survey of some of the areas that are going on our campus. So could we correct some of the craniofacial birth defects or human salivary gland? Some people who have neck and throat cancer, they go through radiotherapy, and then their salivary gland will be destroyed. So that gland is actually a big target for tissue engineering. It's a possibility to regenerate those things. I'm also interested in wound healing and in gene and drug delivery. That's some of these other slides. So this is an exciting slide where all these things are moving. So, because what we can do in our laboratories is we can image live cells in 3 dimensions, and we can watch everything that they're doing. And these cells are actually what are called macrophages. They're immune cells. They're responsible for immune response in the body. They will try to clear pathogen that's attacking the body. So we have nice movies of them doing that, and they're in the computer right now. I'm sure the computer is enjoying them. But so this is really the idea is to try to understand the immune system and the circuits that drive it, so that we can engineer immunotherapies that might be very valuable for almost any disease: cardiovascular disease, cancers, Alzheimer's disease. All of these things are related to your immune system. So I have one more slide, and it's very busy, but this is about quantum information science. So it's I'm a PI on a major award for this institute called the Quantum Materials Institute. And what we do is we study nanomaterials and how they could be used in quantum information science. So quantum information science is kind of a blanket that we use for a couple areas. We call quantum communications, which is for secret communications. So when you have a credit card transaction, can you guarantee, or if you have some kind of secure communications, you want to guarantee that no one could intercept? The quantum communications can guarantee that no one can intercept your communications, even in principle, which is different than conventional cryptography, which is really based on the difficulty in deciphering messages, not the impossibility. The other thing is quantum computing, which could accelerate a lot of discoveries. One of the big ones is drug discovery. Any kind of combinatorial problem, quantum computer have a good chance of having a big, what we call quantum advantage. This is an exponential advantage that can mean doing things in an hour compared to the age of the universe. It'd be a big thing. So we've done a lot of work in this area. We have a close association with a company called Qubitekk, and they are the founder of this company is an alum of School of Mines, and was recently bought by another company called IonQ. But they're involved in quantum communications. And so the Quantum Materials Institute, I'll just leave you with that, is about converting colors of light. So it takes infrared light or visible light and makes infrared light and vice versa. So we change colors of light, and we use special materials to do that, called 2D materials. So that's what this little picture on the end, if I had I'm just going to use my finger. That's what this looks like here. So that's called the non-linear optical process. If you're interested in any kind of optics, which is a pretty important topic now in a lot of different areas, especially biomedical, then you need to talk to me, because that's what we do. At the end of my presentation, I think I could just answer questions. It would be great.
Thank you very much, Dr. Smith. It seems like the work you guys do is very groundbreaking, and some of the cancer things, it's very honorable, I think. I makes my classes on running water and dirt work look kind of little. But, if there's any questions, I'd like to limit, unless there's an objection, limit this questioning to no more than 5 minutes. But if anybody has any questions? I don't think so. No.
Yes, I would have.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's kind of a vague question, but I would like to phrase it like this. So, like, I work for an NIBE department, and it's quite like easy to see that the department gets a lot of funding. Like, you guys receive a lot of grants. Like, I always see something new cool coming in. And like, there was another person coming in here, also a department head, a couple of weeks ago, and he always mentions that it's hard to bring people in Rapid City because of the lack of talent or lack of funding. What do you think makes you guys be able to bring such great people in here, that you guys can secure such great grants as you do?
Well, that's sort of a chicken and egg problem, but I think I came here and every person I've hired has been at least as good or better than me, so I feel like that's how I attract more people. So we have a great group. I think our department is unique in that way. So I think that's how we attract the people. We create the culture and support the people the best that we can with the resources that we have. But I'm not sure who you're talking about, the comment that it's difficult to bring people, but people have choices of where they go, and there's a competition. But we're fairly competitive, and I think that our programs are top-notch. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Meyer?
I just wanted to say my senior design is working closely with Dr. Shunjo.
Nice.
Creating some of the TEM sample prep, and so that's pretty cool. But I was just wondering, the BME program is pretty new. How have you seen it grow, and where do you see it going?
Where do I see it going? Well, that's a good question, but I feel like we're just getting started with biomedical. I think it was on campus for a long time, but I think it was a different kind of flavor. So when Nano and BME joined together, which was just in 21, I think then we start really infusing all the nanotechnology. So most of these grants were secured before we merged even. But I think as we go forward, I think that's really a good niche. It's a really good niche for medicine, and it's a good niche for nanotechnology. So I see it growing. I think in the last few years, the undergraduate program has kind of leveled off at about where we thought it would be. I guess when we planned it, we always underplanned. We planned it to be 80 students, and I think we got over 100 students. So, but getting a lot bigger, there's challenges there.
Oh, okay. Anybody else? All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, the minor, though, is something that we could do, and I'd like to see more people interested in biomedical maybe taking the minor, because this could be just 2 courses, extra courses that you take. So that's one place I think we could grow.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're free to go.
Okay, unfinished business then. First we have VOSEBLE 26S011. That's the fall commencement supplemental. We discussed it and everything last week. So, anybody has any discussion about that? Stolman?
I would just like to add that I met with the committee again today, kind of just talking about what future plans should look like moving forward. Dean Joe was in that meeting, I'm sure he can speak to this as well. Basically that this funding is, a needed lifeline for them to even have a ceremony in the fall in the first place. Without this passing, they have no opportunity to give students that opportunity in the fall. And so, with that knowledge, I will be voting yes for this, and I encourage you all to do the same.
Sure. Yeah, and I'd like to remind everybody that we are not responsible for assigning this money to any group. We're only giving a recommendation to GAF allotment committee. Now, are there any other questions? Okay, is there a motion to vote? Yamalovich.
Second.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Motion to vote.
Okay. Second by Yamalovich. That has to be a roll call vote, right? Yep. Baumeister. Aye. Byrne. Aye. Boucher.
Aye.
Cantz. Aye. Clausen.
Aye.
Dirty.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Halsted.
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Jessen.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Quaver.
Aye.
Salcido.
Aye.
Sattler. Schaefbauer.
Aye.
Senchins.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Stolman.
Aye.
Severson. Aye. White.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Yamalovich. Aye. 22 yeas. 0. Motion passes. Thank you very much, everybody. Next we have OSEBLE 26S012. That is the Senate budget proposal. Remember, Clive will be presenting to GAF tomorrow. Whether or not we approve this or not, the total amount of money that he asked for will not change. So, is there any discussion or motions?
I just wanted to ask,
Jensen.
is CIA still like on there? I just thought that was kind of funny. So.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't change it because we think it gets some engagement, so we think that's pretty good.
No, just a comment there.
Yeah, Ginger.
Yeah, I don't know if this is part of your question, Senator Jensen, but it is not on the presentation that Clive will present. It's a gap out. That wording is.
Anything else? Motions? Clausen.
Motion to vote.
Salcido seconds. Cool. Roll call, please. Baumeister.
Aye.
Byrne.
Aye.
Boucher.
Aye.
Cantz.
Aye.
Clausen.
Aye.
Dirty.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Halsted.
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Jessen.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Quaver.
Aye.
Salcido.
Aye.
Sattler. Not here. Schaefbauer.
Aye.
Senchins.
Nay.
Smith.
Abstain.
Stolman.
Aye.
Severson.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Wright.
Abstain.
Yamalovich.
Aye.
So we got motion passes with 19 yeas, 1 nay, and 2 abstains. 2 abstains. All right. Motion passes. Thank you. New business. The athletic senator constitutional amendment. Yes. S-14.
Originated by Constitution Committee, presented by myself. Whereas there is currently no permanent position on the Student Association Senate for representation of student athletes, despite student athletes making up a large and distinct group of students on campus. And whereas the Athletics Ad Hoc Committee and Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, agreed this is a necessary addition to the Senate, and noting this position will be filled by a different athlete each semester in order to prevent time conflicts between student Senate meetings and athletic commitments, and noting SAC can provide nominations for the position by the due date of the spring election petitions, and noting in order to prevent a special election every year, said nominations will be for both fall and spring athletic senators, and therefore be it resolved that the attached constitutional amendment providing for the creation of the athletic senator position be submitted to a vote of the student body.
If there's any discussion, I'd like to limit it to no more than 5 minutes. Is there any discussion? We have, when we get through these amendments, we have the entire markup document. If anybody wants to see how we're exactly editing the Constitution, and that'll be it's in the Teams currently, so you can look at it at your own leisure as well. Jensen.
I was gonna ask, how do you see this as like different from your role, and like how could this benefit like athletes? Just curious.
Yeah, so this is making my role basically an official role within. So at the beginning of the year, Clive and Jacob and I kind of talked about, we wanted this year and me to be basically a trial run and see what it would look like. Is it feasible? And kind of throughout the year, we agreed that this is a feasible role and that there are defined responsibilities for the senator. Kind of one of those things will be the mental wellness games tomorrow, which I highly encourage you all to attend. But roles within the Student Senate, so representing the student body, the athletic student body to Student Senate, because a lot of our issues are kind of niche to our group, just with our athletic commitments and extended travel commitments, and then also for you guys to have your concerns raised and brought forward to SAC, because SAC hasn't had any established communications with Student Senate in the past, and we think that's a very important connection to have moving forward.
So can any student athlete, be nominated for this position outside of SAC, or do they have to go through SAC?
So the first round that we're doing is SAC will nominate a primary nominee, but that will not be a limited factor as to the only person who can run for it. SAC will put forth their best, what they believe will represent them best for both semesters, but it is still open to any student athlete, and so it will be subject to the student body.
Yes, the nomination by SAC counts as, can replace one petition, but students can still petition for that themselves. Anybody else? All right, thank you. If anybody has any questions, they can direct it to the Constitution Committee. Next we have SO15, Armed Services Senator.
So this is another one coming through Constitution Committee, 26-S-15, originated by the Constitution Committee, presented by Senator Gingley, noting that the veteran and ROTC senator positions will recombine into one position after the spring 2026 election, and whereas the veteran senator position is interpreted as already representing a broader group of students than those strictly defined as military veterans, and should be defined to reflect that role, and noting the Student Association Senate is now of the opinion that this position no longer be an appointment, but an elected position, and noting it is technically possible to create a ballot for the election of this position. Therefore, be it resolved that the attached constitutional amendment providing for the renaming, redefining, and creation of an election process for the veteran senator position be submitted to the vote of the student body. And as he said, it's on the document, but if you scroll down a little bit, you can kind of see the amendment.
Yeah, we'll look at those after. We'll look at all of them at once.
All right.
So, all right, same thing. I'll limit this to 5 minutes of discussion if anybody has anything. Sanchez, thank you.
So this will be for ROTC and veterans combined, correct?
Yes.
So why is it still called veteran senator?
No, there will be the Armed Services Senator.
Well, there are 4 columns says process for the veteran. If you read the
Yeah, the
language.
veteran senator
Renaming
position.
of the veteran senator.
Well,
In
Renaming, redefining.
I just think you have a typo on the,
No, they're renaming the veteran senator
No, he's saying the
position.
creation of an election process for the veteran senator. It should be for the armed forces senator. Because he's saying they're still talking about the election process
Okay.
next year. But it
Okay,
should be
yeah.
this is friendly amendment.
Yeah, okay, thank you. You want to change that? Go ahead.
And then follow-up question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I don't know what the numbers are, but I guess how will there be communication between the two organizations so it doesn't just become a popularity contest?
Senator Hill.
How would that make it different than any other senator position currently?
Fair point.
Okay, seeing no more, we will see this next week. Again, questions, you can send those to Senator Hill or Constitution Committee. Next we have S016, non-traditional senator amendment.
Originated by the Constitution Committee and presented by me, whereas the non-traditional senator position is interpreted as already representing a broader group of students than those currently defined by Board of Regents policy and should be defined to reflect that role, and whereas the Student Association Senate is now of the opinion that the position no longer be an appointment but an elected position, and noting it is technically possible to create a ballot for the election of this position, therefore be it resolved that the attached constitutional amendment providing for the redefining and creation of an election process for the non-traditional senator position be submitted to a vote of the student body.
So the only thing here changing, originally the Board of Regents had a kind of a strange definition of non-trad, and it's felt that it really doesn't follow how we perceive non-traditional students. So now it will be anybody that was 24 years of age at the time of enrollment to an undergraduate program. That's how we'll define it in our Constitution. There's no questions, we'll move on to the next one, which is S017, graduate senator amendment.
Resolution number 26S, 017, presented by me, whereas the graduate senator's position is interpreted as already representing a group of students defined by the Board of Regents policy, and noting the Board of Regents policy is subject to change and explicitly defining the position in the Constitution will further prove said Constitution, and whereas the Student Association Senate is now of the opinion that this position no longer be an appointed but an elected position, and noting it is technically possible to create a ballot for the election of this position. Therefore, be it resolved that the attached constitutional amendment providing for the redefining and the creation of an election process for the graduate senator position be submitted to a vote of the student body.
Yeah, with this one, we aren't really changing anything except the fact that it's an elected position. And the thing about the wording, we found out that the Board of Regents, their policies, they change their policy book sometimes, and even if their wording doesn't change, its location in a policy changes. So like instead of being VOR S.1.5.A, it'll move around. So then the Constitution's out of date. And if we just define it ourselves, then the Constitution doesn't get out of date every 6 months. Other than that, there's nobody wants to say anything. We'll go on to the international senator amendment, which is S018.
Resolution number S018, presented by me, whereas the Student Association Senate is now of the opinion that the international senator position no longer be an appointed but an elected position, and noting it is technically possible to create a ballot for the election of this position. Therefore, be it resolved that the attached constitutional amendment providing for the redefining and the creation of an election process for the international senator position be submitted to a vote of the student body.
Same kind of thing as the others. If anybody has any comments on that? Except these will all be, you can read them closely and look at the markups yourself. If you have any anything that you think should be changed, let us know. We want these to be right. Senator White, would you also mind presenting S019?
Sure.
which is the meeting minutes deadline, and that needs to be, what was your friendly amendment, Madam Secretary? Oh, you did, okay, great, thank you. Go ahead.
Resolution number 26S0919, presented by me, but for Senator Statler.
Change that.
Whereas Article 3, Section 2, Subsection A, 4A of the Student Association Constitution currently requires the Secretary to distribute meeting minutes within 72 hours following the adjournment of each Senate meeting, and noting the 72-hour requirement may impose unnecessary time constraints on the Secretary, particularly during periods of heightened academic or organizational responsibility. And whereas establishing a deadline tied closely to the next regular scheduled Senate meeting would provide the Secretary with additional flexibility to complete minutes accurately and thoroughly without undue haste, and noting ensuring that minutes are distributed prior to the subsequent meeting preserves transparency and affords senators adequate opportunity for review. Therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to Article 6, Section 4 of the Student Association Constitution, the following amendment be approved by the Student Association Senate and submitted to the student body for ratification.
Thank you. You don't need to read that.
Okay.
Everybody, you can review it, just like the others. Cyverson, do you have anything you want to add?
Sure. So, I proposed this to Statler, and I guess he went ahead and made it without me. So, yeah, the main idea is just to provide less time constraints for the Secretary, just to make the position a little bit more less stressful, and as it's already a really necessary position for Senate, so that's the main idea.
Other than that, we can just put that up really quick, just to let you guys kind of see what this looks like, so you understand what's going on. I have it broke up based off which article, so these are just chunks pulled out of the Constitution, and then anything highlighted is words added, anything with a strike through is what's being removed. That's just that we're adding 5 senators that will be elected. Go on. These are, fun.
The question with regards to the last resolution that was just read.
Yeah.
Are the meeting minutes able to be put as in Word document, put into the shared file for Senate before they're approved? Right now in the Teams folder, you can only see the approved, but that way we can view an updated view of the minutes instead of sending a secretary corrections if multiple people are viewing them. No.
Are you proposing that people edit the document themselves?
I'm not saying we edit it ourselves. I'm saying only the secretary edits it, but that way we can view an updated version of it instead of seeing a one time or being able to go in and see them whenever.
Sure, I guess I can send a drive link or a doc link rather than the doc itself, if that would be helpful.
Yeah, I'm saying if it was put into if there was a folder in the Senate OneDrive, then that would be where all the minutes are being stored in general. That would be helpful instead of having to go through and find the meeting email, of just knowing where they're at and where to go.
Well, we can consider that, I guess. Yeah, anyway, back to this. This is just the edit for the definition of each of those positions. We can go on. The addition of the athlete senator has its own new section, Section E. Yep, just some things that are struck through. Go on, and then how just that they're elected, that kind of stuff. So anyway, you can go through that yourself if you think there's anything funny, or if you want better understanding of exactly how we want the athletic senator thing to work. Other than that, I'm going to open discussion really quick. Senator Hill, I know that there's something happening in Nemo, South Dakota very soon, and you might need some volunteers for that. Do you want us to send around a piece of paper or something to get some people?
You want me to just go ahead and give most of my whatever it is I'm supposed to give? Because I'm going to cover that. And it's going to be good.
Okay, we'll wait then.
Okay.
All right.
Builds anticipation.
Open discussion. Senator Burke.
A point of personal privilege.
Okay. Anybody else? Open discussion. All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to the CFO's report.
So I met on Monday with ISE to talk about a supplemental. They sent it to me about 3 hours ago, so we'll look at that tonight in the Finance Committee. Met with NCAR about their supplemental this morning. Again, we'll talk more about that with Finance Committee tonight on meeting. Important big news, looking up, we have GAP Committee tomorrow and Friday. Hopefully that all goes smoothly. And we expect a rough draft for the SOAP applications to be done tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't have anything to say. Do you have anything to say?
I'm just gonna say that it's great being on top for just one dude. You know, like the power is rushing through my veins. And those other two guys, they basically do nothing.
Write that down, Maddie.
Yeah. Anyway, international report.
No report.
No report. Veteran report.
As regards the previous statement to the veterans and all, we have a concluding note on NEMO. So the veterans had their meeting last week, and we will not, with a capital N-O, be participating in the NEMO outhouse race this year. So this is not to fly in the face of Dean Joe's excellent work that he did for us, but the veterans believe that getting our chain yanked around by some person is not in the best interest right now. And not only was collecting donations a fight that we were unable to successfully resolve, but he also wanted us to handle all of the parking and provide the equipment to do that, to bring more people than we realistically could have provided. And with the number of sponsors dipping out this year from the NEMO outhouse race, this is going to be his problem to solve. So, yeah, oh yeah, it was fantastic. So anyway, the veterans have decided to let him drown on his own. If the student senate wishes to fill that role, not going to stand in your way, but I highly recommend that you don't. Well, let's see. Because of that, starting next year, we're probably going to be doing more focus on off-campus fundraising. So take all the bandwidth we were going to use for NEMO and put it more productively in the local area. We would be happy for collaboration from the Senate with that. What we say, shifting students for $20 a pop is not funding our club the way that it ought to be right now. Speaking of collab, I believe the former vice president was rightly cracking our cojones to do a collab with other clubs on campus, specifically ROTC, and we have decided to do a range day after spring break when it warms up. We will be talking to ROTC, to the gunsmithing club, and the trap shooting club, so try and make it a little bit larger than collab and see if we can't turn this into something worth doing more than once. If senators wish to practice the 2A in addition to everything else they do, we'd be happy to include you as well.
That'd be great. I want to mention real quick the trap shooting club. You know, that's something we kind of tried to do, and then it became just my deal, and then I kind of didn't get responses from some people, so I let it drown. But if you're able to make something happen, I'm sure I can pass it on to the new president of that club.
Yep. I think I'll send that to your club email, sir.
Oh, okay. I'll leave outside.
Very exciting. Are there any questions? That's what I like to see.
All right. Thank you very much, Senator Hill. ROTC report.
ROTC has a finalized RA that I think will be on second floor Peterson, starting next semester. And then also we're trying to meet with the VFW to fundraise, so the Veterans Club, if that goes successfully, you guys will be invited. Cool. And a report, unless there's any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for the ROTC? Oh, awesome.
Do you have, is that part of the what do you call the deal up here, that climbing wall?
The wall?
Yeah.
For which
well,
one?
like we were.
The VFW? No. So for the climbing wall, that'll be the 842nd Engineer Company of the South Dakota National Guard. They've agreed to make that their project. So as long as there's not major budget cuts, that'll probably be redone this summer.
Okay.
But if there are budget cuts, and we raise enough money, that could be something that ROTC would be interested in redoing themselves.
Very cool. Graduate report. There's nothing else there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I ended up getting sick end of last week and beginning of this week, so nothing happened in the report.
Meyer, when and where is your next meeting? GSS?
First Friday of March. Okay. So I don't know the exact date of that, but yes.
Non-trad report.
No report.
Alright. Constitution Committee. We have made a lot of constitutions, and you've all seen them. I'm sure there's a problem with some of them, so let me know if you find one in the report. PR Committee.
Okay, we're working on the newsletter for March, and we sent out an email to all student boards requesting information for a club highlight. Includes like minimum of 3 photos, like a small short summary, bunch of other stuff just so that we could feature you on a newsletter. So if you have constituents that have access to the club email, please tell them to check it so that we can get more of those. We already have a couple, but as many as possible. So, and
Any questions? Seeing none, moving on. GR.
We got lots of things moving around. It's pretty much the same, but we're just trying to build up momentum in all the little different fields that we're doing. And coming up, Alfredo, when is the monument fundraiser?
Thursday, March 12th, and I'll be sending out the sheet people can attend.
Yep, we'll be recruiting for that here soon, and we're excited to. We got a bunch of meetings with all the necessary people to get some of the cool projects that we're working on moving. So once those start happening, we'll be making some progress and building up steam. Other than that, in the report, I guess we got Anthony.
Yeah.
Report.
City council meeting on Monday. So if there's anything you want me to report or request to the city on your behalf, let me know.
I'd like to mention, I think the other week I brought up the fact that it seemed weird that GR was doing fundraising, but we had a discussion between our committees, and the Constitution says that the finance is responsible for fundraising, but it doesn't say that they have to do fundraising. So I think we can just say that as long as CFO Schock is doing the actual bookwork, there's no problem with GR. You know, people that are willing to do the work, I don't think we should stop them. Anyway, Student Affairs Committee.
Yeah, so we have a CAA meeting with ASME scheduled for March 4th. And the bigger thing that we're working on is the proposal for integrated laundry. That's drafted up. We're just waiting on some, little tidbits of information that we think might support our case a little bit better from KEITS and other schools that we're reaching out to. So that proposal should be here next week. You guys should hear that. We'll just send that to Jane or DOR if we can. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Any questions there? Seeing none, we'll. Yeah.
Since we're here, I was just gonna, I was on the Student Affairs Committee, so I was just gonna ask a general question to other people, what your thoughts, opinions on this laundry are. We have survey results, but also if I could get input from Dean Joe and Corey as to their thoughts for going forward with the BOR versus faculty senate, bringing this up to the university. This has been brought before the BOR before and shut down by the finance committee. Any help, any suggestions on the resolution would be wonderful.
Awesome.
What a personal privilege.
Thank you for being here.
I thought you had something super insightful.
I didn't.
Yeah, I can respond to that. So, so two immediate thoughts. Yes, we have suggested this before, based on student interest. Like operationally, it's just easier. Residence life team, ITS team, and the Board of Regents did say no. We can't suggest or implement. We can't implement any of our own fees as a university. None of the 6 schools. We have to get approval from the Board of Regents. So that has happened. Maybe 2-3 years ago, we were told no, we can't do that. The other piece that I would add, I haven't seen the survey results, but best practice in higher education industry, yes, is to have so you're not walking around with quarters or adding cash to your Grubby Gold and scanning into your laundry. Really, the only downside I could think of, some of you may disagree, may be like, that's awesome, is you could risk residential students like scanning in their commuter friends who then are doing laundry without having actually paid for it in the residence halls. That's, to me, that's the only downside.
Mark, if the Board of Regents says that yes, we can do this, would it go statewide or would it just be in our area?
I can see it happening both. They could say, yes, South Dakota Mines, great plan, go for it, you have approval. Just add that charge to your residential students' bill instead of them every wash and dry. Or they could decide they were going to do it all 6 universities. It doesn't have to be one together.
Yeah.
So,
Baumeister.
sorry. So, point of clarification, I guess, question. Right now, the BR doesn't have anything allowing the schools to charge students for laundry, and so the Grubby Gold is Mine's way of saying we need to provide laundry and we need to get paid for said laundry, so this is our way of getting paid for it without implementing the semester fee. Is that my understanding? Okay, so they're not saying no, you can't have a free or unlimited laundry. They're saying we don't want to touch adding another fee. Is that?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't in the room when the board decided why, yes or no.
Okay. That changes how we word the resolution. I appreciate
Senator White.
It'd be nice to have it be like an optional thing that people can add on if they want to, or they can just keep using Grubby Gold. Because some people might be able to use that and get like more out of it, while other people might get it and then end up having it cost more than what they ended up using it for.
Roxy Kelly.
Point of personal privilege.
Go ahead. Thank you for being here. Yes. Did you have something, Dean Joe?
Yeah, to Senator White. I love that idea. Unfortunately, I don't think it would work in practice because when we say, hey, every residential student just pays that small fee, then literally you can walk up at any time, press a button, and you can wash or dry. Right. So if I opted in, but Director Headley didn't, nothing's stopping him from washing and drying.
Sanchez.
A motion to limit discussion.
Second.
Yeah. Okay. All in favor of limiting discussion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We will discuss.
The rest of it from Senator Baumeister. If you need.
Yeah, go to Baumeister if you have anything else to say. Oh, that was, okay. Ad hocs.
Actually with wellness. So, the survey results for the wellness committee came back, and what it looked like is students actually liked the fact that there was like something to do in the middle of the day that wasn't homework. So, I was kind of interested in that idea, and maybe I was thinking, I thought this, that maybe there should be like more things that are like not homework that honestly are even surprises to students, because like
surprises are actually like really fun and like surprising. So, you know, maybe we could probably think something more like that. I was gonna send an email to Lynn Peterson, the person who runs all that, and then also the next year's theme is World of Wellness. Just any thoughts on that? Maybe we could like have a better theme or something. I'm thinking about it just so you guys know, but yeah, that's what we got for wellness.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Wellness Committee? All right, any other ad hocs? Nothing crazy happening in that one. Okay. Snowman.
Yeah, just with commencement, just thank you again for passing that. I know it's a huge burden lifted off of the commencement committee, and Dean Joe can speak to that as well. Thank you for passing that earlier. In terms of athletics, we have our first annual mental wellness game tomorrow. We are putting a lot of effort into this. I would appreciate it if you would consider being there. I'm technically not supposed to tell you guys this, but there are shirts for people if you show up. So if you want a free shirt, show up. All the athletes and the pep band and all the administrators will be wearing the same shirt, and we have extras. So if you show up, you can get one. Good report.
Any questions there? Okay. Seeing none. Upcoming Senate business. Vice President Lee, do you want to say what that is at all?
Yeah, sorry. I'm a little out of it, but I can give you a summary. So next week, obviously, we're passing a lot of the bills that we've read this week. It's also the end of the nomination period for the presidential and vice presidential candidates. So we'll probably have a summary of who all's running. The week after that, obviously, is elections for that ticket. That's all I foresee. I'll have to read the minutes and talk to the leadership here to determine what happened with the Senate budget. So
we're in good shape.
Yeah.
You got the okay there.
Sweet. Thank you.
Anyway, announcements. Thank you guys for putting up with me. I haven't ran a meeting since I was in high school in FFA, so it's been a while. Other than that, anybody else have an announcement that they really want to say? Madam Secretary.
Shameless plug, Drama Club show is next weekend, 12 Angry Jurors, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Doors open at 6:30, free to all students. Thank forward.
I will entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded by Syverson. All in favor of adjourning, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Nay. We're adjourned.
Say aye.
Yeah, you didn't say what I told you. Simon says.
So, that was actually a 7 hour.
Y'all just limit the record on every single yes.
Well, what's the point?
Yes, I got all that.
We have 5 minutes for questions.